Yes, Johnny. Washington, D.C. Murder-free since the first time fucking maybe ever. And liberalism is right there to say, well, there's still so many homeless and there's so many problems. Murder-free weekend shouldn't be celebrated. You're a Gavin Newsom fan. Homeless? Y'all are shitting in the street. The only way Gavin Newsom picks up feces in the street is if China comes to town. True or false? Gavin Newsom can't put out fires. Just, hey, I don't understand what you think a leader is. If the captain of the boat can't make changes or fix things, hey, there's a hole in the boat, we're sinking. Leave it. Blame it on Trump. Blame it on the orange man. Blame it on the Cheeto boogeyman. Your ship's still sinking. The dude can't put out fires. Everything he said. Oh, he talks like Obama. He talks like Clinton. Oh, you'll vote for him just on the way he promises not to do anything. But congratulations, America and Donald J. Trump. First weekend murder-free in Washington, D.C. Soros, y'all going to have to dump some money in Washington, D.C. Don't let this start to shine. Y'all going to have to cover it up as fast as you can. Venezuela and its dictator leadership is about to feel the real wrath of the American people. The Venezuelan dictatorship joined forces with the corruption that's been in control of our government. And they were all in with Obama, and they were all in with the Clintons, and they're all in with the old Bidens. They were going to be all in with Harris. But something happened. The American people said, hold on, we'll vote. Do you know how much vote it took to win that vote? I know all our elections are free and fair. Come on, man. Every major city does not... Their elections are out of control. That's why nothing changes. That's why all the people in these inner cities, all they're left with is blame. Things are changing. Washington, D.C., congratulations. Can you imagine no murders in a weekend? What do you think the average murder was? You think it's in the teens? You think it's in the 20s? You think it's in the hundreds? Look up the murder rate of any city in the United States. I don't care what city you pick. I'll do this, true or false. I'll pick any city in the United States. You pick any city in the world. I'll do Singapore. I'll do Mexico City. I'll do... It doesn't... Rio. I'll take Detroit. I bet the crime's worse. I'll take Cincinnati. I'll take St. Louis. Chicago. Minnesota. You guys okay up there? Are the Americans okay? All I see from Minnesota is LGBTQ, like their governor, and their cheerleaders. It's all over. But then they've got little Somalia. They've got they've got mail-in ballot control. So Americans, and the reason why, man, I love Minnesota so much is, and I've said this in a few of my videos, but in McLeod, Oklahoma, where I grew up, I got to sit in the 80s with an 80-year-old elderly Kickapoo Native American. Now, these guys were rough to me, man. They were mean. They called me a bunch of names, but I'm going to tell you what, I could sit there. I said, hey, man, I got you a blanket with some smallpox. Hey, man, everybody stopped talking. What'd you say? I got you some fire water. You got any wampum? Can I borrow some wampum? Hey, man, I gave them all they wanted, and they loved me, and I loved them. But this old Kickapoo elder, their Kickapoos were from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Their whole world, as far back as they've ever known, they've lived. All their native forefathers and all their ancestry and all their, I wouldn't say religious, but all their faith is all in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And I said, they had to move so many times, they lost their history. Just like us. And it's fascinating. He was telling me about my people. And I said, yeah, my grandpa said we were from Scotland. And when Rome conquered us, we were all given a new language and religion and shipped to Australia, South Africa, Canada, and the United States. And he said, you're exactly right. And when you got to the New World, we killed your asses in record droves. I said, yeah, that's what he said. Anybody that went west It's better than staying east because nobody had no money. Nobody. The elites had the money. The elites that charged compounding interest, nobody had any money. They were all sharecroppers. And then my grandmother told me about the 1920s in Arkansas. And I want all the Quentin Tarantino slave stuff. They were beating slaves. Well, no. If the slave didn't do their job, I said, well, who's the slaves, Grandma? She said, we were. She said, my family was Irish, and we were below the black Americans. And you know why they call them black Americans? You know why they call black Americans African Americans? Oh, I got to do a TikTok on this. Did you know that for every African American they shipped over in slavery, 2 black Americans were shipped out? That's how many black Americans were in the North Americas before the 7 countries descended upon them. 7 countries, all under the Vatican rule, descended on North America. That's why, like Canada was owned by Norway. The East Coast was by England. The West Coast was Spain. And Spain, man, look at what Spain did. Man, them conquistadors, they rolled through South America, Central America, right? I mean, one of the Vatican's navies, who's at Portugal? Brazil speaks Portuguese. But it's all under the Vatican. Who's the middle? France had the middle. I mean, there were 7 countries. Did you know Russia blockaded the South and helped the North win during the Civil War? That's how we got Alaska. They gave us Alaska, said, oh, it's worthless, dude. We've done trapped it, and it's done. It's nothing. If you promised us the $3 million, we'll take it. And we'll just give you Alaska. That way if the Americans ask and histories. Everything's a fucking lie, man. But congratulations, Trump. Congratulations, Washington, D.C. First murder-free weekend. Congratulations, Americans. I'm a Trump supporter, 100%. I disagree with Trump's unwavering support of Israel and who controls Israel. He who controls Israel isn't Israel. Israel's an ideal. It's a land. It's a people that has been genocided. The Palestinian Jew allowed the Ukrainian Jew in. 70 years later, rubble, boys. It's he who is in control is who's our enemy. But congratulations, America. You're winning.